So in we went to the Fairfield Card Show. It's located in a mall in an old Forever 21 store. And the mall hadn't opened yet, but there was a line out the door at the show. So first went over to my guy Craig. His table always has great stuff. And as you can see, today is no different. He had some really good stuff. Now on the far left, that Joe Montana rookie card autographed for $500 seemed like a great deal. You got some Walter Payton rookies. Jim Brown rookie there. Mike Ditka, Roger Staubach rookie. He had some good football stuff. Take a closer look at that Montana. I went back for that. I was really considering it, and it ended up selling. Again, Craig, he actually just launched a website, craigbuyscards.com. And here is his information. We'll take a look at his other cases here in a second. If you're interested in seeing anything, that's how you get a hold of him. Nice Bob Gibson rookie up there. Some nice Clementes. Sandy Koufax, Willie Mays. Really nice Orlando Cepeda rookie and Juan Marichal autographed. Cool 57 and 59 Mays. He always tends to have, there's a nice Jackie too, my goodness. He always tends to have some Mantle and Mays and Koufax especially, all those guys. He has a lot of the big ones, a lot of Aarons usually. Again, there's another look at some of his inventory. We'll take a look at another case here. 52 Topps Gil Hodge is up there. Really nice Don Drysdale rookie in an SGC 5. A couple 64 Pete Roses. Again, he always tends to have some Aarons. A couple Ted Williams cards there. 53 Satchel Paige. Some beautiful Minnie Minoso rookies, 52 Topps. Next to a couple of 57 Topps Frank Robinson rookies in SGC 5s. Both Minosos were in 3 holders, and he seemed like he had a really good price on those of $200 was his asking. Again, another closer look at a couple of the cards in the case. He usually has a solid 3-4 cases of good stuff. Nice Reggie Jackson rookie, Gaylord Perry rookie. So let's go ahead and take a look at another case. And here he had a few basketball cards. Gary Payton rookie signed up at the top right-hand corner. A nice Larry Bird rookie. Look at this, Lenny Wilkins rookie. He still signs through the mail. A cool Bob Cousy 61 Fleer. Jordan Sticker rookie. Few autograph things. He had more autograph stuff than normal. But I put those things up in the think tank and kept moving around the room. This case is from a dealer out of Reno. He had some nice old pre-war stuff. The Rube Marquard. A nice 52 Spawn on the left. And I kept on moving. Found this nice case from a different dealer as well. He had some cool Jackies. You got the Red Heart Mantle, a Wilson Franks Campanella over there to the right. There were a couple hundred tables. I'm showing you some of the vintage stuff. This here, another dealer. A lot of Willie Mays. Always in Northern California, you're going to find a lot of Mays stuff. And quite a bit of Koufax as well. You can see some of each there. Nice Nolan Ryan rookie. Well, I made my first purchase for $7. I was going through a bargain bin, and I picked up a 71 Topps Burt Blyleven rookie for $7. And you say, why would you pick that up, Greg? Well, I've been wanting to TTM Burt Blyleven for a while. I've heard that he is fairly reliable as a TTMer. So I wanted to send this off. Hopefully, it'll come back. So I picked that up with the first purchase of the day. So here is a closer look at it. I think it's a pretty nice card. I mean, a Hall of Famer 71 Topps set, brutal set, and pretty nice looking. It'll probably end up getting messed up in the mail. I'm just hoping it comes back autographed, which would be awesome. So I kept moving around the room, and I went over to see my buddy Scott. And he had some great stuff as always. Couple of 52 Topps Willie Mays. 56 mantle, and he recently bought a collection of T206s, which he has sold a few of, but still had several. I'll show you a closer look at these, and I will show you Scott's information if you're interested in buying one of them. He bought these from the nephew of the original owner of these T206s and T205s. There's a Trispeaker rookie and an SGC1. When he came about these, they were still ungraded, and the owners sent them in. Nice Frank Chance. This was a really well-centered card and an SGC2 of another Hall of Famer. So the nephew of the person who was a big smoker and still had them. I think it might have been the great-nephew. I think it was the great-nephew. Now, this Cy Young was came back trimmed, which is interesting. It does look like the top edge is a little weird, but now this is a big one. This is a super clean Ty Cobb. Now, there's a little tobacco juice at the bottom right, but the registration on this green Ty Cobb is just dead on. Gorgeous, gorgeous card. And again, I've got Scott's contact information at the top left-hand corner. Buddies with him, so don't hesitate to trust him in a deal. And then we got a Johnny Evers. This is a beautiful SGC3. And you can see it's a Piedmont back. So, again, these were a walk-up at a show, and the owner was like, what have I got? And he's like, well, you need to get them graded first. Look at this T205 Tinker. That's just, those don't usually just show up at shows in an SGC4. So Scott also bought these recently down at a Burbank show, and he had a whole bunch of just non-sport stuff. That's a cool Popeye card. High grade. That was really cool. So it's fun going through this box. He bought several things at that Burbank show, and little of everything. He's normally mostly a baseball and then some football and basketball, but he picked these up in a deal down there. Nice American caramel there. And again, I guess when you're a dealer, you just never know what's going to show up at a table, like some ungraded raw Ty Cobbs from the great nephew of the original owner. And then maybe some other stuff. I'm asking Scott, I'm like, where do these? This lady had them graded or what? So these cards were from a different purchase than that T206 and T205 lot. So we're sitting there talking. He's telling me about how these walked up at a table down in Burbank. And this was the daughter of the original owner, I think he said, which he graded some of these PSA years and years ago. And she was just kind of looking to move some of those cards. Cool 75 Topps Johnny Bench. These team cards seem to have kind of fallen by the wayside for some reason. They used to be more popular, I think, than they are now for whatever reason. And then there's a couple modern cards there in the back. But these were fun to look through. And then I took a look at his 86 Fleer Jordan in a PSA 9, which he was telling me he has the whole set in a PSA 9. So that was impressive, to say the least, to see that. Then I was looking, he has this that's a big Bowman rookie of Steph Curry. He had a couple of big Steph cards in the case there. And then he had the iconic Magic Dr. J. Larry Bird card in a high grade as well. He has some great stuff in his case right now. He's been really active buying and selling. Then I went over to my guy Mo's case, and he had some unbelievable stuff. So we'll take a look. He had a lot of Jordan inserts. He had some Kobe's. Look at all those Magic Bird Dr. J's. Bunch of Kobe stuff. That Dunkin' Go Nuts card. Something about that I think is a cool card, and that one's of Kobe. Cool Kobe inserts, along with some 86 Fleer and some star cards. He sold 2 Star Jordans this weekend. Look at all of these 86 Fleer Jordan rookies that Mo had. His cases were absolutely nuts this week. There is the one remaining star. That one's a PSA 7 Star Jordan. But look at all of those Jordan 86 Fleers. And then he also had some Lou Gehrig Goudies, and he got the Babe Ruths there, some Goudy Babe Ruths, Eddie Plank up there, another Ruth. He picked up a lot of stuff since the last time I saw him, and a lot of the stuff in these cases are super high grade. Now, some of these 53 tops he's had for a while, but my buddy walked up and had just picked this up from Mo in a trade and cash deal. Again, he's had those 53s for a little bit, but some of these, like mantles, and these are really high-grade stuff here. He had some 8s and 9s of some guys, some 58 tops mantles, 53 mantles, 58 all-star mantles, and we're talking away as you can hear us. And more Jordans, more star cards. Just tons. He had several Jordan inserts here, which you'll see in a second if that's your thing. Lots of shiny Jordan stuff. Some of those I hadn't seen before. I'm not sure how rare they are, but it was very impressive case of basically Jordan stuff, just inserts and whatnot. And but yeah, he sold 2 Star Jordans this weekend. My goodness. One of them was an 8. That's a pretty cool looking card right there in the middle. Not sure I've seen that one before. Although I'm not usually looking for this kind of stuff. Again, he had lots of star stuff. He's got some star team bags, unopened team bags. Mo's always got just... Usually the best cases in the show are at Mo's table. And then he had some more really high-grade stuff. I mean, like literally like 8s and 9s of some Pete Roses and Willie Mays' and Clementes, and just I hadn't seen a lot of this stuff here in this case. Again, lots of the big names, a lot of Clementes. Nice Bobby Richardson high grade there. And then I made my second purchase walking around. I got this, which is a Sports Oddities, which is a Quaker Oats card. And it's of the Globetrotters. You can see the Globetrotters there on the left. And it's in low-grade condition, but I just saw it and I was like, you know what, that's pretty cool. For $3. So I was over talking to a dealer that does a lot of non-sport cards. And I didn't get much video of his table for whatever reason. Again, you see it's Quaker Oats. And but I was excited when I saw this. I was like, I think I need that. There aren't a ton of things like this that you run into on your average card show. So $3 later. So now it was $10 in. But I was going to go back and look a little closer at some cards over in Craig's case. Some people were buying. And there was a back room with some Pokemon. But I went over to look at those Mini Minoso rookies again. Both in SGC 3s, and he's asking $200. And I was like, that seems pretty good. So I opened up Card Ladder. And again, Card Ladder is my recommended card comping app and card research app. And we do have a promo code, Midlife, which will get you $20 off a one-year subscription. So I pulled open the 52 Tops Mini Minoso, and the prices were anywhere from about $175 to $350. So I was like, we need to dig a little bit, because Why are some of these 280 and 225 and over 300? So I decided to look at some of the higher ones to see the reason and some of the lower ones to see the reason. So I opened this one up, and you can see it's got centering issues. Not awful, though. So that one was well into the 200s. So I'm trying to get an idea of where is the one that I'm looking at. That one's way off center, so that would explain why its price was pretty low. But again, Craig's only asking $200. So this one was $242 that it sold for, and it's pretty well centered. So I'm like, well, if he's only asking $200, that seems like a good deal. And just trying to not just comp the grade, but actually the card itself. So I'm trying to find ones that are really well centered, like Craig's were. And I'm like, this one's really well centered. Really well centered, like the two that Craig had, and they sold for quite a bit. So his asking price of $200 seemed very fair. Again, this one's pretty heavily rounded. Now, the ones that Craig had, they're threes, so they're going to have issues. It's just a matter of what kind of issues you want. And 52 tops are notoriously off-center. This one had a bit of a diamond cut and heavily rounded corners. So again, when I'm comping them, I want to comp the card. I'm looking at these two, and they're well-centered threes. And one had a surface wrinkle on the front. One had pretty beat-up corners. So I was trying to decide if I wanted one of the two, and if so, which one I wanted, and then what I might offer. And I made a deal, and I bought one for $170. So $200 was his asking. I paid $170 for this. Now the centering on this is phenomenal for a 52 tops card, and this is Minnie Minoso's rookie card. He has a 52 Bowman, which I already have, and he has a 52 tops. Now, again, the card's going to have issues. It's a 3, so it's a lower grade card, but I think the eye appeal on this card is spectacular. We'll take a look at the back. It's a red back, which is the more common, but the back is super clean. It does have a wrinkle down near his, kind of like his chest, belly button area on the front that does not go all the way through to the back. But the back looks really good. We'll flip it back over. And I just think it had stunning eye appeal. Again, cards with this kind of eye appeal, according to the Card Ladder app and the examples, they were going for over $300. So I'm like, 170? That seems pretty good. Again, it's obviously not perfectly centered, but it's pretty well centered, pretty decent color. And the issue with it is over there to the right about at his shoulder. But I just think it's awesome. So then my dad, he pulled the trigger on a card. He bought himself a 57 tops Frank Robinson in an SGC 5, also from Craig, which he purchased for $300. So I got my Minoso for $170. Coach got his Frank Robinson rookie for $300. And we had a pretty good day. So, again, Card Ladder, I highly recommend it. Comes in handy at shows. Promo code MIDLIFE will get you $20 off a 1-year subscription.